और लंदन में मुख्यमंत्री लगातार निवेशकों से बातचीत कर रहे हैं। तस्वीरें इस वक्त सामने आ रही हैं, वो आपको हम इस वक्त दिखा रहे हैं, जहां पर ये इस वक्त इन्वेस्ट इन मध्य प्रदेश ये कार्यक्रम इस वक्त चल रहा है। मुख्यमंत्री मोहन यादव लगातार यहां पर बातचीत कर रहे हैं।
Upcoming policies in global capability center, biotech, EV and AVJC, and green hydrogen. Now, state has a very conducive level of system, and we are the first state in entire country who have the labor case management system. We have 43% of our population in working age category.
देखिए, इन्वेस्ट मध्य प्रदेश और ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट जो फरवरी में होना है भोपाल में, उसके लिए जो है मुख्यमंत्री लगातार वहां पर इन्वेस्टर्स के बीच पहुंच रहे हैं और मध्य प्रदेश को लेकर प्रेजेंटेशन भी इस वक्त दी जा रही है, जिसमें बताया जा रहा है कि क्या संभावनाएं हैं मध्य प्रदेश में और उनको कैसे एक्सप्लोर किया जा सकता है ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा। तो ये लंदन से इस वक्त सीधी तस्वीरें, यहाँ पर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री मोहन यादव इस वक्त पहुँचे हुए हैं और लगातार कार्यक्रमों में वो हिस्सा लेते हुए नज़र आ रहे हैं। और इस वक्त ये तस्वीरें हैं आपके सामने, ये वहीं से आ रही हैं और ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट होना है भोपाल के अंदर फरवरी 2025 में, उसी की तैयारियों से जोड़कर इसे देखा जा रहा है। और लगातार मध्य प्रदेश को लेकर जो प्रेजेंटेशन है वो दिए जा रहे हैं, जिससे वहाँ के निवेशकों में एक भरोसा जताया जा सके और प्रदेश में निवेश के लिए उन्हें आमंत्रित किया जा सके, आकर्षित किया जा सके। तो इसीलिए लगातार एक के बाद एक हम देख रहे हैं मुख्यमंत्री मोहन यादव की जो हैं वहाँ के उद्योगपतियों के साथ जो हैं वो बातचीत चल रही हैं। उनके कार्यक्रम तय किए गए हैं। 6 दिन का उनका ये मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री का दौरा है।
Invested 1,800 crores in Aisharit and components. In 2016, they have invested 1,250 crores in Volvo Aishar powertrain. In Aisha trucks in 2018, they invested 900 crores. In the 22 to 24, they are investing 2,700 crores. They are still demanding land from us. We have already allotted the land. They are demanding more. So they are providing more than 40,000 employment direct and indirect combined, and they are a huge group. Any engine probably you are using in Britain may be made in Pithampur by Volvo. So this is the kind of trust everyone has in Madhya Pradesh. Once they come to our place, they know how good we are, how hospitable we are. We are there to help you. We are there to support you. We always work on the Indian philosophy and ethos. Survey bound everyone has to be happy. We always believe in the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Entire world is our family. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your engaging presentation. Now, it's my privilege and honor to introduce and welcome a distinguished leader, a pioneer in advancing technological-driven growth in Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Sanjay Dubey, the Additional Chief Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Madhya Pradesh. Mr. Dubey's vast expertise and forward-thinking approach have been instrumental in positioning Madhya Pradesh as a rising powerhouse in the domains of IT, ITES, and ESDM. Under his visionary leadership, the state has witnessed significant strides in innovation, digital transformation, and fostering a conducive environment for tech-driven industries. Today, we have the unique opportunity to hear from him as he delivers a presentation on the potential and advancements of IT, ITES, and ESDM in Madhya Pradesh. This session promises to shed light on the remarkable opportunities for investors, entrepreneurs, and stakeholders to contribute to and benefit from this thriving sector. Mr. Dubey, it's a privilege to have you with us. We eagerly look forward to your insights and perspective as we explore how Madhya Pradesh is redefining its technological landscape. With that, the floor is all yours, sir.
Thank you.
तस्वीरें इस वक्त लगातार हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं, जहां पर देखिए कैसे आईटी के सेक्टर में, टेक्नोलॉजी में मध्य प्रदेश जो है वो लगातार आगे बढ़ रहा है और कैसे जो इन्वेस्टर्स यहाँ आएंगे उनको तमाम सुविधाएं दी जा सकते हैं। इसको लेकर जो प्रेजेंटेशन है वो वहाँ पर दिया जा रहा है और न सिर्फ मुख्यमंत्री मोहन यादव बल्कि जो अधिकारी हैं, जो अपर लेवल के अधिकारी हैं, वो भी वहाँ पर पहुँचे हुए हैं और लगातार वो भी जो है अपने अपने विभाग की प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हैं।
My other colleagues, Mr. Raghvendra Singh ji, Mr. Chandramali Shukla ji, Mr. Samik Basu ji, honorable guests of the dais. It's a privilege to be here to tell you the story of growth in Madhya Pradesh, but more so in India. There are few numbers that I want to run you through. There are 550 million transactions that happen per day in India through UPI, with a worth of 222 billion dollars, pounds transacted on a daily basis. If you talk about India's growth as an English speakers, you have 130 million English speaking population and 4 million English speaking population of English in Madhya Pradesh. We are having the 4th ranked state in AI Development Index, and these are some of the numbers which come from the Government of India's website, and you could see that we have been leaders as far as India is concerned in the growth of IT and IT sector. There are other numbers that we talk about. It's about 350 billion of transaction, the GDP contribution that we expect in 2026, which contributes to about 10% of the GDP of the nation. It's only through the ITES sector. If you talk about exports in 2024, it's about $200 billion of export, with 5.5 million of direct employment coming from ITES sector, about 30 billion of investments in data centers with a CAGR of 32% year-on-year growth. 2,500 plus GCCs are working in India, the largest ever GCC environment, which is outside US or any other country, with 4.5 million direct employment coming from this. This is the number, this is the strength by which we are talking about ITES sector. So this growth came from about 7 cities, which are metropolitan cities, which is Chennai, which is Mumbai, which is Bangalore. And these are now being driven by another set of cities, which are tier 2 cities, which includes 2 cities from Madhya Pradesh, which is Indore and Bhopal. So these are the new wave of GCCs, ITES opportunities which are coming through. And the reason why we are talking about is because in some of these bigger towns, there are challenges now because of the cost arbitrage, which is getting lower by every day. The attrition that happens there and infrastructure challenges, which is not the case in the tier 2 towns. They are hyper competitive talent poaching or maybe transacting, which is happening in the urban bigger towns, but is not so there in the tier 2 cities, which is Indore, Bhopal, Jabalpur and Gwalior of Madhya Pradesh, and also an excellent opportunity for the companies to invest and relocate. So there are about 2 million total graduates which are working in this area, and about 1 million experienced talent pool which happens within the country. 7,000 plus startups are happening. 80 SEZs are the ones which are exporting this ITES products all across the world, and it's about 15% of the talent pool is being given by the tier 2 cities in the urban areas. This was the story about India, but now what is it that the Madhya Pradesh government offers? We have a vibrant tech ecosystem. More than 5 IT SEZs are functional in Madhya Pradesh, with 15 IT parks, with 50 plus large IT companies and 150K direct employment in it. You talk about technical skilled manpower. There are more than 300 engineering colleges which churn out graduates every year. 50,000 technical graduates which come out from these colleges, and we have a presence of IT, triple ITDM, IIM and AIMS. We have government intervention and support, so much so that we believe in low code kind of a governance, whereby the minimum intervention and the maximum governance is our motto. We have come out with the policies, which is IT, ITS and ESDM. We are also coming out with the AVGC policy, which is audio, visual, gaming and cartoon policy. There is 24/7 reliable power supply, and we are the only state in the country which certifies that we are able to provide you green power 24/7 for the industry, which is IT, ITS, export-oriented industries. For the data centers, this is a boon, and that is what is being looked after and is being asked by most of the industries to have a green power supply. We have a provision for open access. You can have your captive plant, you can have your own open access, and that is being facilitated by the government of Madhya Pradesh. If you talk about ease of living, which Mr. Raghvendra has also mentioned, we have the cleanest city as Indore in the country for 7 consecutive years. We have the least AQI in terms of air quality, and we have the least commute time if you compare with most of the cities within the country. We have more than 1,200 technology startups. 2 of them have turned unicorns, and we have a plug-and-play infrastructure beside. We give out the land for your own constitution of it. What are the other things that bring Madhya Pradesh on the center of investment opportunities? If you talk about the rentals that you have to pay in any of the cities in the country versus what you have to pay either in Bhopal or Indore, you would realize that it is far, far below. Just to give you an example, if you have to rent a place in Mumbai for setting up your IT, ITS business, it is 225 rupees on an average monthly rental per square feet, as compared to 60 rupees that you pay in Indore, which is far, far lower than that. Cost of living, again, you would see that it is far below comparing to any other cities in the country. You talk about the pollution index, again, we are very, very low as compared to other cities. You talk about traffic commute index, the time that you have to take from one place to another is the least in most of the Madhya Pradesh cities compared to any other towns. These are the issues. And if you talk about a small comparison between the UK or London, if you see, in most of the things, Indore would be as compared to as London in purchasing power, only where you have the least property, but otherwise safety index, healthcare index, climate index, traffic commute index, pollution index. But where Indore leads is cost of living. It's far, far lower than what you probably experience in London. If you talk about cost of HR, it is far below if you talk about UK. So given these advantages, which are non-financial advantages, if we now go to the financial incentives that the government of Madhya Pradesh gives through its policy, you would be surprised to see that we not only give a rebate on purchase of land, so much that the guidelines, which are the government rates, we give rebate up to 75%, we give capex assistance, thereby we give 25%. Up to that kind of assistance is given. Interest assistance of 6% is given. Stamp duty waiver is there. There are other incentives, and for the first time, Honorable CM has been very kind to distinguish between IT, ITS, and ESDM, and also the data center. He said that IT is different, IT, ITS is different than ESDM, and the requirements are different for the data centers, and that is why, if you see our policy, it talks about different incentives being given to the different industry sector. So when we talk about data center, it gives, it considers that the energy is a raw material, and because of which there is a 2 rupees rebate on the electricity power charges in the data center. When we talk about ESDM, there are issues where we fund the patenting, we fund the skilled manpower, the certification and others. And if you see how it works out onto the ROI, you would be surprised that if you invest $10 or pounds or rupees, or maybe 10 million pounds, you get back 2.8 million pounds back from Madhya Pradesh government through the incentives that we provide in IT, ITS. If you talk about data centers, if you invest 10 million pounds, what you get back is 4.7 million pounds. If you talk about ESDM units, you invest 10 million pounds and what you get is 5.5 million pounds back as an incentives given by the state government. And we talk about the developers, the only policy in the country which says that if you are a developer, you are not an IT, ITS industry, but you are a developer and you create infrastructure. There also, if you invest 10 million pounds, what you get is 2.5 million pounds back on your development. No other policy in the country gives this kind of incentive, and you would see that as a business, you would realize that you will look at the ROI, and from day one when you invest the money in Madhya Pradesh, you are ROI positive, and you can be sure of the success that you can.